Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Chair Yoga with Anna here at the PCM SNS, and I'm getting tongue-tied, the PCS&M Chapel. And it's also the Irie Bliss Wellness brick and mortar. So welcome back. I am going to start this session with a prose that I thought was a really nice connection to how sometimes we can resonate with this. So the writer is in English Pierre Gentil, but in French I believe it's pronounced Pierre Gentil. And I also referenced this in my blog. Be softer with yourself. Being your worst enemy while having plenty of other critics is too much. Let me read that again. Be softer with yourself. Being your worst enemy while having plenty of other critics is too much. Be kinder to yourself. You will meet enough unkind people along your journey. Be nicer to yourself. You're all you've got at the end of the day. And when I think of that is we all go to bed ourselves. But the reason I chose this, this resonated with me, and I hope it resonates with others, is because I often talk about holding space for ourselves, grounding ourselves. And we are a container. We are a vessel. And we can contain a lot of stuff. And when your life is going, we forget how much we can really contain. And we start to go into this place of kind of like a reverse, where you want to not deal with things. Things are going to come into your life while you're feeling these things, and it's going to begin to feel even more overwhelming. You're going to get triggered. Life is just like that. You don't know when these triggers are going to come in. So, as I always say, practice with compassion as it relates to your practice. But when it comes to these words, because we are such vessels and we hold space for ourselves and others, it is really important for us to slow down and really be kind to ourselves, be nicer to ourselves, be softer with ourselves. So I can definitely resonate with that because triggers can come in at any time. And personally for me, and I share this on the blog, when I am in that container state and all of a sudden my body's telling me you're holding way too much and you need to release, there's several ways that you can release. I personally talk and I cry. And that's okay. We all release the way we need to release. And that's why we need to be kind to ourselves. I'm human. We're all human. Even though I have a yoga practice, this is what comes in for me is the consistency. Just like I spoke about last week, the consistency of our practice is what keeps us grounded. So let's ground in. Soles of the feet, get in touch with the earth and feel how it supports you. So whether your feet are on concrete, carpet, wood, the earth is still underneath you and very energetic. We are energetic beings and we are connecting. Hands resting on the lap. And softening the gaze or closing your eyes. And just noticing where your shoulders are. Are you slouching over, leaning into the chair? And let's lift our chest up, crown up, stack our shoulders over our hips. Beginning to connect with our breath in and out the nose. And being grateful for coming together here at our chapel, care of the People's Congregations of Shakers and Movers. As you begin to connect with your breath, begin to lengthen the inhales and exhales. And as you bring the breath in through your nose, Begin to feel that chest rise. Belly fills. And then as you exhale, belly falls, chest falls, shoulders soften. There's the word again, softening, as how it comes into yoga. Inhaling nice and deep, filling the belly like a balloon, really making space for that wonderful breath, prana. And long exhale out, getting rid of that stagnant breath that's right at the bottom of our lungs. Nice deep inhales and a few more rounds really to get out that stagnant breath that is at the bottom of the lungs that we don't get to very often. Bringing the awareness to your heart. And bringing in that softness, that kindness, that niceness, surrounding your heart with it. And let's come to a place where we bring our hands together at heart center, connecting with our hearts and connecting with each other. Setting an intention for our practice, mind and body and soul. It is intention that drives our actions and our interactions. And it is what we carry through our practice and take with us into our daily lives. Let's all take a deep breath in together. And a long exhale out. Let's swallow at the back of our throats and begin to flutter our eyes open. 3 rounds. Let's bring the palms above our head as we take that nice inhale in. Exhale, flip the palms, press everything away. First round, second round, inhale. Arms come up, palms press, palms come to heart on the exhale. Inhale, round 2. To complete it, flip the palms, press everything away. Last one, inhale, arms come up, palms press, and palms come to heart. Beautiful. Now, let's take our thumbs and really press into that sternum, framing the back body by lifting our crown and really bringing those shoulders back and feeling the shoulder blades slide down. So pressing the chest into the thumbs. And then let's release here. All right. Let's get into our mountain pose. And mountain pose, you can rest your hands on your lap or you can bring your arms down beside you, palms facing forward. And from the ground up, we begin, feel the soles of the bottom of your feet. Okay, so all 4 points or 3 points of the foot ground in. Activate the legs, really press in. And then take a moment here to kind of shift your weight to the front of the feet. You'll feel it less seated in a chair, but if you're standing, kind of just shifting the weight a little bit back and forth and feeling the weight as you're seated, feeling the weight shift in the feet. So it's a very subtle sensation as opposed to when you're standing because there's less weight on your feet seated. Okay, so you really feel it when you're standing, and we'll do this when we're standing as well. All right, so let's come back to center. And then slightly tuck the tail here. Let's again bring the shoulders up to our ears, round them back, bring the shoulders down, and frame the back body right there. Beautiful. All right, so from here, let's lift the heels and press into our toes. It's a gray day here in Weymouth with lots of rain on and off. Lower the heels, lift the toes. I hear pains from the body, from the cold weather. So this is nicely going to warm you all up. Let's inhale, arms come up, lower the toes. Exhale, flip the palms, lower the arms down, lift the heels, mountain pose. All right, lower the heels. Inhale, lift the toes. And exhale, float the arms down, lower the toes, mountain pose, raise the heels. All right. So on the tiptoes, press into the toes, feel the calves lift. Pull the navel in, lift the chest, lift the crown. Shoulders drape down. And then let's lower the heels here. Let's bring our hands to our left knee, bring that knee towards our chest. And we can flex the foot here, point and rotate both directions. And release, other side, knee to chest, flexing the foot, pointing and rotating. And releasing. All right, so from here, let's inhale, arms come up. Exhale, float the arms down. Let's reach back, open up the chest, palms face each other. Pressing that heart forward, and then let's take the gaze up for a little nice front body stretch. And then bring the gaze back to center, soften the shoulders, arms by your side, bring the hands back to your lap. From here, let's get into the hip by lifting that left leg and beginning to circle around the joint. So again, if the weight of the leg is too much, supporting it under the thigh, and that'll help lift some of the weight. So small circles, big circles, however you want to feel your joint, and then going the opposite direction. And then leg comes back, other side. Any direction, getting to both. And release here. Extend that left leg out. Rotate the ankle. And then rotate the opposite direction. And release here. Extend the other side. Getting into that ankle. And bringing that ankle back. So here we're going to open up the tops of the feet. I've been getting really tongue-tied today. Let's bring that left foot underneath for the foot to rest on the top of the foot. So we're opening up the top of the foot. So you really feel it when you take the shoe off and press into the foot, but because the shoe can be a little constraining. But if you can't take your shoe off, that's just fine. You just feel it a different way. And then release, other side. Okay, so what we're opening up here, at least what I'm feeling, and everybody will get a different sensation, is as I hold on to the chair, we're opening up this part of the foot here. And we don't do that often, so it's going to feel a little awkward. Yeah, it does feel good. All right, so let's bring that foot back. You can even get cramps sometimes because we don't do it that often. Bring that left foot back. And then let's apply a little bit of pressure onto the pinky side. So that stretches more of the inner ankle. And then bring that light pressure onto the toe. So this is something that you can also do if you're working at a desk and just need to stretch out your feet. And then let's release that one to the other side, a little pressure on the pinky side. It also helps the ankle in different movements as opposed to just rotating. So we're turning the ankle inward. I forget what that's called, but just the different movement of the ankle. Then press into the big toe mound lightly. And then release, and then we can shake it out. All right. From here, let's bring the thumbs to the hip joint, working our way back to the hips. Gently press the thumbs in. Lengthen through the crown, pull the navel in, take a nice deep breath in, and on the exhale, begin to rotate the torso. So it's natural for the navel to begin, or the abdomen to begin to relax. And so that's why we recenter, coming back to center. And then come back to center. Inhale, lengthen. Pull the navel in again. Exhale, go the opposite direction. And then I want to just bring in a moment of free form. So a moment of free form is basically inviting you and inviting your body to begin to just move around the pelvic floor the way your body wants to move. So if it wants to drape forward, bringing the head down. If it wants to come back up. If it wants to circle around. If you want to dip the shoulders. Just a little bit of your own movement to feel your body in a different way. All right. Let's come back to center. Let's take the gaze over to the left side. Come back to center. Gaze goes over the other way. Come back to center. Let's drop the chin towards the chest. And then let's come back to center, hands on the lap. Let's begin that cat-cow. Inhale, press the heart forward and take the gaze up. Exhale, chin moves towards the chest, rounding the spine, tucking the tail. Inhale, lead with the heart, take the gaze up. Exhale, chin moves towards the chest, rounding the spine. Continue back and forth, sinking the breath. You can close your eyes for a moment if that feels good too. Once again, if you're at the desk, behind a desk, this is something awesome to do to make your back feel really good and get yourself back into that place of relaxation. All right, let's come back to center. Let's take the gaze over again to the left side. Bring the gaze back to center. Take it over to the right side. And then this time, let's bring the nose towards the shoulder. And then we're just stretching out this muscle right here, right on the side of the neck. I don't know if any of you have been doing any gardening, but if you've been shoveling, let's bring the nose across the chest, landing on the other side. Bring the nose all the way up to the left side, then bring the nose down towards the shoulder. Those neck muscles will get really tight. And then from here, let's bring the nose across the chest. Let it come up the other side, and then we bring our gaze back to center. Beautiful. Let's roll the shoulders forward. All right. Coming back to mountain pose, aligning ourselves. Inhale, arms come up. Let's look up at the palms. Let's reach back. On the exhale, let's flip the palms, gently swan diving down. Take your time, first forward fold. And when you're down here, release the neck. Again, if a forward fold is too much, you can either place a block in front of you to lift the forward fold, or place a pillow on your lap or a blanket. All right, so from here, let's dangle a little bit, going into a ragdoll, maybe grabbing elbow to elbow, taking a sway back and forth, or just letting the arms dangle. Loosening the neck and just making sure you're not lifting the head. Let the head relax. Maybe taking the gaze over to the left and then to the right, taking a nod. Let's place our hands on our shins, lift the chest here, and take the gaze just about a foot in front of you or so, or just kind of take the gaze down in front of your feet. It just depends how far lifted you are. Bring the shoulders away from the ears, slightly tuck the chin, just to align the neck and spine. Gently bring the hands to the lap, coming all the way back up to seated. Beautiful. From here, let's inhale that left arm over the left ear. Reach to the fingertips. Maybe the gaze goes towards the bicep. And then let's lower down. Other side. Inhale, right arm comes over. Maybe that gaze moves towards the bicep. And then gently floating that arm back down. All right, so this time, let's bring that right arm down. Inhale that left arm over the left ear. And this time, let's reach back with that right arm. So palm is still facing towards the chair. Maybe taking that gaze. Notice how that feels. Can be a little intense. Let's float the arms down. Come back to center. Same thing, other side. Right arm comes over the right ear. And then gently bring that left arm back. Maybe taking that gaze towards the bicep or the arm. And then coming back to center, releasing that right arm. Beautiful. Let's inhale. Arms come up. Look up at the palms. Let's reach back. Exhale, swan dive down, hinging at the hips, lower your head, release the neck. Inhale for your half lift, shoulders move back, and then gently coming all the way back up to seated. All right, so today let's do a little bit of a quad stretch. What we'll do here is we're going to come to the side of the chair, and I'm actually going to remove the blanket so that I can feel the chair, the edge of the chair, and just making sure that your feet are nice and flat and half your butt's going to hang off the chair. Basically, you're giving that leg room to stretch back, okay? So you're going to hold on to the side of the chair just for a little balance, make sure it doesn't tip over. All right, so these chairs are light, so you just want to be careful with the light chairs. All right, so lengthening from the crown and just gently pulling that navel in and up. Begin to bring that leg back, and then you can rest the foot just on your toes. So feel that quad stretch right here. Breathing normally. Gaze is forward. And then we're going to inhale what is my right arm. So the arm that is bending on the same side. So the leg is bending. Raise that arm on the same side. And then from here, we're going to raise the other arm coming into a high lunge on a chair. Ground that front foot in. Let's bring our arms to cactus. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring arms to cactus. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring the arms to cactus. Bring the elbows close together on the inhale in front of you. Exhale, bring them out to cactus. Reach up one more time. And flip the palms. Exhale. Let's lower the arms down gently. Guide that leg back to meet the front. And we'll come back to center. So notice how much more warmed up that front leg feels, less tight. Let's inhale. Arms come up. Look up at the palms. Reach back. Exhale. Swan dive down for your forward fold. Uttanasana. Hands on the shins, lifting the chest here. And then gently coming back to seated. Let's take one more breath in. And exhale, press everything away. Let's even out on the other side. Okay, so again, giving that outside leg the space to move. So we start with both feet grounded in front of our chair, sideways seated. From here, maybe placing that hand on the back of the chair, and then gently guide that front leg, well, the side leg that's moving back. It's my left leg here, might be your right. And guide that leg back just far enough for you to feel that stretch well enough. And then toes, you just stay on the toes. So the toes get a nice stretch, the quad gets a nice stretch. Now let's lift our arms up on the next inhale. And then on the exhale, let's bring our arms to cactus. Inhale, reaching up. Exhaling, coming back to cactus. Inhale, let's reach up, back up again. Exhale, back to cactus, and then let's inhale, bring the elbows closer together in front of us, opening up the backs of the shoulders. Then let's extend those elbows out, and then let's reach up. Flip the palms, and on the exhale, just floating everything away. Guide that leg back, that back leg back to the front, and then we readjust. All right, so remember that we did that lift off the chair. So we're just going to do that about 3 times, coming to the edge of the chair, and then just making sure that your feet are nice and grounded and on even ground. And I'll demonstrate to remind you guys of what we're going to do. We're going to do this lift. Okay. All right, so let's rest our hands on our lap. And we're going to ground in our feet and lengthening through the spine. That's the lift here. And then we're going to sit back down. Okay, take another breath in. Ground the feet and lift. Exhaling. And then come back down. I get a lot of giggles when we do this. Let's inhale, ground the feet and lift, because we all have to do this at some point. And then come back down. And it's really helpful. All right, so let's ground in and lift again. Come all the way back up. And then let's inhale. We're going to get into a chair pose in front of our chair. Hands come parallel to the ears. Now, if you have high blood pressure, bring the hands in front of you. Okay, so or any shoulder tenderness. So I'm going to hold my arms up and we're going to sit in our chair. So check your feet alignment just to make sure that they haven't shifted too much. And let's sit in our chair. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Lift the chest. Slightly tuck the tail to really make that spine nice and straight. Sit a little bit lower and shift the weight back into the heels. So as we shift the weight back into the heels, our front body tends to come inward. So let's lift the chest again. Sit a little bit lower. Take a deep breath here. Hold, hold, hold. Not your breath. And then ground all the way back up. Press the palms together and palms come to heart. Let's inhale. Bring the arms back up. Look up at the palms. Reach back. Activate the legs here. Exhale, forward fold. Soften the knees. Coming all the way down. Let's dangle for a moment. Inhale, hands on the shins for your flat back. And then let's root to rise. Come all the way back up. Palms press together and palms come to heart. Second set. Inhale, arms come up parallel to the ears. All right. Let's sit in our chair. Shift the weight into the heels. Slightly tuck the tail. Lift the chest. Breathe normally. Lower down. Lift the chest. Pull the navel in. Continue to breathe normally. You got this. You got this. Maybe go a little bit lower. Ground the feet in and lift. Woo, quads. Float the arms back down. Roll the shoulders back. And let it go. All right. Let's stretch our back out. Downward facing dog. Either take it on the floor on your mat or with the chair. So if you're taking it on the chair, hands on the back of the chair, take a few steps back. And then begin to lower the head. Ears become parallel to the biceps. Soften the knees. Shift the hips back. Arms reach forward. And then let's bring those shoulders into their sockets. If you're doing this on the floor, on a mat, press into those index fingers and thumbs to get into that upper back. Be mindful that that middle finger, hands are pointing forward. Soften the knees here again, bringing the hips down. And then gently extend the legs, lift the heels, and bend the knees, coming into a bear pose. So in downward facing dog on the floor, you're just lifting the heels, bending the knees, and then let's all lower the heels back down, coming back into your downward facing dog, making any adjustments as necessary. Okay, so gazes between the ankles. Let's lift the heels again, lower the hips, coming into a bear pose, pull the navel in. Here you're also engaging the Mula Bandha, or that is the perineum. When you pull the navel in, hips are working. Then let's lower the heels and then gently come all the way back up. Sandy, you can stay there. Inhale, come back up, lower the arms back down, hands on the chair, take a step back again, coming back into your downward facing dog. And then from here, release the back of the chair, coming into a forward fold. So if you are on the ground, either walk your hands back to meet your feet, or feet walk towards the hands, coming into a forward fold. Let's inhale for our half lift here. And then let's root to rise, come all the way back up. Look up at the palms. Let's reach back for a nice micro back bend, standing. Palms come together, and then palms come to heart. Take a moment here. Heart rate is up a little bit. And just noticing the sensations in the body. This is why I like to teach slow. All right. From here, take a few steps away from the back of the chair. We're going to come into a wide-legged forward fold, so just making sure that you have enough space in front of the chair so you don't bump. So take a nice step out. Heels point inward, toes point outward. Okay, so, and it's okay to hold on to the chair. Lift the chest here. Let's bring our hands to our lower back. And then let's lengthen through the crown. Pull the navel in, and then let's take the gaze up. Gently press the hips forward. Activate the legs, so the legs are not passive. Engage those quads. And then gently we're going to come back to center, and we're going to begin to hinge. So breathing normally, deeply, and exhaling, coming down without bumping your head on the chair. And then from here, you can release the lower back, the hands from the lower back, and place them either on the chair or on the ground or on a block. You can also soften the knees. And then from here, lengthen through the crown, pull the navel in, and then you can go a little bit lower if that feels good. And then gently, we're going to begin to lift. Bring those hands back to your lower back. Pull your navel in to support the lower back, coming all the way back up. Take the gaze up, little forward press with the hips, and then coming back to center. All right, release the hands. Hands can come to heart. We're going to come into a squat. And then take a little moment here to give yourself a little sway back and forth. Pull the navel in. And you can do this seated. All right, coming back to center. From here, let's inhale the arms up and come all the way up. Exhale, we come back down. Inhale, let's rise. Arms rise above the head, and exhale. Come back down. Inhale one more time. Reach up this time. Expand the hands out, coming into a star pose. And then gently press that chest forward. Let your head fall back, trusting that you are being held. Expand the chest. Feel that expansion right there. Opening up the heart, keeping us connected. And then let's come back to center. Let's bring the hands, palms to touch, and then palms come back to heart. Beautiful. All right, let's practice the heel toe. Let's heel toe back in. Keeping the feet nice and aligned on the return. All right, so let's I think we have time for a couple more postures here standing. All right, so I'm going to take a step back with my left foot. Front knee is going to bend. So we're coming into a warrior pose. Square the hips to the back of the chair. And let's inhale our arms up. So one or both arms can come up. And then let's reach up and extend. And then exhale, bend the knees, bring the arms down. Inhale, extend, reach up, and then stay here. Soften the shoulders, bring the shoulders down. Bend the knee. And then flip the palms, bring the arms behind you, interlace the fingers if that's accessible, and if not, you can just reach back, palms facing each other. And if you have your fingers, your hands interlaced, just making sure you feel that wrist stretch towards the heel, opening up the chest. Whether you have your arms, your hands bound or not, you can take that gaze up. And then we're going to take a little bow. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, ground those anchors into the floor and hinge forward. Taking a little bow here. Maybe those arms lift off the back if the hands are bound. And then gently begin to lift the chest. Come all the way back up. Take the gaze up. One more time. Continue to ground the anchors in. Bring the gaze forward. Release the arms. Stretch up. And exhale. Lower the arms. Bend that front knee and bring that back foot to meet the front. Let's inhale. Arms come up. Look up at the palms. Reach back. Exhale. Swan dive down and hands land on the base of the chair. Lower the head. Soften the knees if that feels good. Tent the fingers. Lift the chest for your flat back. And then gently coming all the way up to rise. Inhaling. Arms come back up. And let's press the palms together. Palms come to heart. Take a step back with that right foot. Toes. You're at a 45-degree angle. Coming back into our warrior pose. Bend that front knee. And just making sure that that knee is stacked right over the ankle. Let's inhale, arms rise. Let's extend up. So front leg extend, reach up. And then exhale, bend that front knee. Inhale, extend. Reach up with the arms, legs extended. And now let's soften the shoulders. Okay. Little practice here of softening the shoulders. Bend that front knee, bring the arms into cactus. Let's reach up one more time. And then exhale, bend that front knee. Float the arms back down. Bring the back foot to meet the front. And actually, we're going to take one more breath here. And exhale, let it go. Step back with that same foot, coming into the same position. Warrior one. And let's inhale, arms come up, parallel to the ears. Flip the palms, reach back, interlace the fingers, or palms face each other. Bring the shoulders away from the ears. Take the gaze up. Ready for that bow on the exhale. Begin to hinge at the hips, coming back down. Just a little bow. Maybe the arms lift off the back. And then gently ground those anchors in. Ground the feet. Lift the chest, coming all the way back. Take a gaze up. Release the arms. Bring the arms back up on the inhale. And then exhale. Let's soften. Bring the arms back down. Back foot meets the front. Beautiful. All right. Let's take a step to the side of the chair so we don't bump. Gently doing a moving twist. And then coming back to center. And then we're going to come onto our tiptoes for a full body stretch. It's okay to hold onto the chair. Let's inhale. Arms come up, come onto the tiptoes. Feel those toes ground. Reach, reach, reach. Pull the navel in. And then gently let's float the arms back down. All right. Coming back to our chairs. And let's get into a nice full body stretch. Once again, extend the arms up. Extend the legs out. Arms come up. Reach back. Flip the palms. Gently float the arms down. And then from here, bring the legs out. Hold on to the sides of the chair. Okay, and let's extend the legs out again. And we're going to give our biceps and arms a little bit of a workout here. Let's lift the hips up. Maybe the head drapes back. Once again, trusting. And then gently lower the hips back to the chair. Bring yourself back to a seated position. Yeah, it's a nice little front body stretch there. All right, so let's bring that left knee towards our chest. And then grab it just from the outside, about 2 inches below the knee. Gently guide that knee towards the shoulder. So we're opening up the hip here. An option here, you can flex the foot. And then let's release. So if you feel a little bit of a pinch there, you should feel that. Bring that opposite knee towards your chest. And then let's guide it towards the shoulder. I'm going to flex my foot here. And then let's release. All right. How are we feeling? Good? I hope so. All right, so a little bit more mobile, a little bit more relaxed. Let's come to our seated position and recenter ourselves. Reflecting on being softer, kinder, and nicer to ourselves. And remembering to lengthen through the crown, really get that spine nice and long to continue that energy flow as you come into your resting place and come home. Softening the eyes, closing them and letting them sink into their sockets. Relaxing the legs. So no active movement here, completely passive and relaxed. With every exhale, softening the shoulders and really feeling that belly expand as you breathe in. And as you exhale, feeling that belly fall, chest falls. And remembering that hands can reflect what it is you want to bring into your practice today. Palms down to ground. Palms up to receive. Or always invited into a Gyan Mudra with the index fingers and thumbs touching. All cultivating our groundedness, our intuition, and inner wisdom. Enjoy your Shavasana. We are integrating all the benefits of this practice into our bodies, which makes this posture one of the most important postures in sequencing. And let's begin to bring awareness back into the body by wiggling the toes and the fingers. And when you're ready, joining me with your hands at the heart in prayer position. Inviting you to bring your prayer hands up to your third eye as a reminder to think kind thoughts. Back down in front of our lips as a reminder to speak kind words. And back down in front of our hearts as a reminder to live life full of love, joy, grace, and kindness. From my heart to yours, I deeply bow to you in the deepest gratitude for joining me and us today. Thank you so much. See you next week. Namaste. Thank you.